All right, should be up and running here in just a second. Q's and SPY have been, market's been closed for about 6 minutes. So we do have the final numbers here for the Q's and SPY. So we'll be taking a look at those and looking at today's trades. Let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for January 13th, 2022. Q's down 2.5%, SPY down 1.3. Came into today neutral. All right, we've talked about how the SPY was in an hourly downtrend and then ended the hourly downtrend. We've been neutral. All right, waiting to see what plays out as we do have time frame conflict. We also have a little bit of conflict between the Qs and SPY even. So here's the Qs hourly rolling back over underneath the 20 MA, okay, and then the daily triggering the sell setup. Out of either pattern or either chart, Qs and SPY, and daily or hourly, which is our primary focus as we go day by day, right? Hourly, we use it to predict the next hours and days. The daily chart, we use it to predict the next days and weeks, okay? And then if the daily goes into a trend for long enough, eventually the weekly will follow. Okay, so that's our approach. Why we're focused on the hourly and the daily. The most cleanest or distinct chart that we have is this daily sell setup, I would say, because we have a lower high here, not a very significant lower high, but a little bit of a lower high, and then a low and a lower low. And then now we're producing a potentially lower high with a declining 20 MA. So as far as sell setups go, this is most in line with a clean pattern. Okay, daily sell setup. Now what's tough about the SPY here is that the SPY is coming from higher lows. Is this gonna be a lower high? Okay, what we have right here. All right, so that's hard to say because we're coming from a higher low. We're coming from an uptrend on the SPY. Are we ready to transition lower? You know, if something is in an uptrend and you're trying to expect it to go lower, right? Those are the situations when you're playing against the trend or expecting something against the trend, right? That we need to see more confirmation from, okay? So on the SPY here, more neutral is what we got. Okay, we still have, we're getting kind of a flat 20 MA now, kind of a deep pullback, right? And then the daily's not in a downtrend. Okay, so the Qs are the one where we have a little bit more alignment and we have a little bit more profound pattern, perhaps, is another way to put it. Okay, so what to expect from the Qs? Qs are bearish. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised though if we rest a little bit tomorrow or bounce back up a bit. Decent sized wide range bar here, and because it's at odds with the SPY, you can see the Qs, right, has been weakening much more quickly and significantly than the SPY has. Okay, so they're not on opposite ends. Okay, where you know SPY is still making new highs, Qs are just going into an all-out downtrend, but we are seeing relative weakness in the Qs. Okay, so bullish to neutral going into tomorrow. All right, but we had a pretty wide range bar here, and so we'll see if we get a little bit of a rest first or a narrow range day. All right, let's go over the plays from today. Really nice call from Sammy on the space. Really nice management as well on the space here because this was a bit kind of jumpy here and there. Nice follow through right off the bat. This was just a 1 minute high low here because it opened 1 minute late and then under 86 by 11:01. That was where his numbers. That was really the play of the day. Here it is, gapping down, pro gap down. 1 minute high low, pretty straightforward. We'll see plenty of more of these as we get into earnings season. Closing at the low day, I'm sure the market helped keep this week, but really nice play. Nice big potential here on this space. Okay, so you know, one of those kind of quick plays at the open, and then you just try to stick with it, and so that was really nicely done. The ETWO had a call on this ETWO. Not quite as big of a gap down, but really weak. Look at the daily, looks slower. And we're talking about prior to today's bar, weekly already rolling over as well. Monthly rolling over as well. And then daily, we had a small gap down. okay, but then cleared the support. Okay, so how did it clear the support? It got sold right at the open. So that was kind of the first kind of sign that, okay, let's pay attention to this. All right, then we got a 5-minute sell setup here. And then inside of this 5-minute sell setup, we got a 2-minute base. So I call it a 5-minute sell setup or a 2-minute base breakdown after the sell setup. Either way, so this was the play here. 92 was the entry, and then the stop was over 9. I put it at 911. Okay. So wanted to see new lows. This was the first target. I said 960. Okay, and we got pretty close there. That was the first target there. We took half there. Then as we got beyond 2 R's there, as we got to 950, we took another piece here. The last target was 930. Now, 930 ends up being the low of the day. It's not really anything special about how did I think come to 830s. Yeah, 830 as the low. All it is the all-time low there is 926, and I rounded up to 930. There's nothing more to it than that. That was it. So when we got to 930, so let's take the rest. Okay, and then we trailed it over 840. Okay, so it's basically like 1 minute bar by bar, essentially right there. That was the last bit. The question that I wrestled with was whether or not to try and hold this for, a runner piece. The problem was that this is what the bar looked like, and at the time, this second bar was just another red bar. And I said we can hold a runner, but we're gonna have to stick with our original stop up at 911. So I decided let's just take the whole thing. Now in other situations, it's gonna end up bouncing a little bit and then going to make new lows and falling apart more. I just felt like at that point we'd reached 3 R's and we didn't have a good place to trail. Look at this 5-minute. Now you could go 5-minute bar by bar, which is how I initially started the final piece trail. And then once we got to the target, I said, okay, let's go 1 minute bar by bar. Okay, but notice there's no pivots here. And this would have been a pretty tough rally to live through. But for some of these, we don't know. I already said when we're down there, that's when you got to make the decision. Okay, after it does this, you can't go back and say, okay, well, I wish I would have got out there, right? So that was the decision that was made. Now, and similarly, what if, it bounces up a little bit and then the next bar is a wide range red bar and it keeps on going down? Again, I can't say, oh, I wish I didn't get out here. I wish I was back in. Now, you can replay the play because that would actually be a 5-minute sell setup. You can replay the play, but there's no guarantee that, what if after that green bar, it just starts inching back down, or the next bar is a red bar and takes it out and just keeps on going? Then there's no setup and you just have to watch it go without you, right? So, that's just normal management decisions, normal trading, and within my plan to do, just to consider that the final target. And like I said, 830 was just, coincidence. Just, looked at all-time lows, 826, rounded it up to a whole number, and then just used that as a placeholder. So that's all. Okay? All right, so that was the ETWO. All right. And that was pretty much it. I didn't think there was all that much else to do today. A lot of things did come in with the market, so a lot more shorts than just the ETWO in the space, but those were, I thought, kind of overall the best setups, the plays that were most clearly and likely to be on their own page. Okay? All right. Hope you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow to finish out the week. I'll talk to you then. Have a good evening.